Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our channel. We are on our drive, our morning commute from the city of Harrisonburg in Virginia. I'm headed on route I-81 right now. This is the front view of my drive. I'm headed to Charlottesville, Virginia. So I am on Interstate I-81, headed towards the city of Stanton, Virginia. I'm passing through a lot of expansion of this road, which ferries a lot of traffic, from the major city hubs. So I'm passing through a town called Weir's Cave, which actually this area that, as you can see, construction is going on, is where a lot of accidents do happen around this corridor, just because of the heavy traffic congestion. These caterpillars here on the side, construction trucks working on expanding this road, which I believe this construction expansion has been going on for about more than a year now. So this area that I'm driving through right now is prone to a lot of accidents because of heavy traffic. You have a lot of tractors, semi-tractors, 16-wheelers that ferry a lot of goods from state to state. And so with that comes the territory of heavy traffic jams and just terrible conditions and whatnot. Like right now, you can see in front of me there's very poor visibility because of fog. So this morning, it is a Wednesday morning. It is the last week of August 2025. And this commute is definitely one that is starting off being very foggy. So I'm on the Interstate 81 headed towards the city of Stanton, and then from there I'm going to take an exit, and then from I-81 in the city of Stanton, I'm going to take exit 222. Actually, I think it's 225. Then get on Route 64 west, headed towards the city of Charlottesville, where I work. So this is usually my typical morning commute from the city of Harrisonburg to Charlottesville. So come along with me as we show you what's happening around my commute. It is a very foggy morning, as you can see all around me. So we're definitely going to try to pay attention to the road conditions. And one of the things that I'm not super fond of when I'm driving on these interstate highways is these big semi-tractor trailers like the one I'm passing right now. I typically feel like these trucks are like they're like missiles on the road, honestly, because they're so humongous and so huge. So I try to keep my distance from them, and if also I'm passing next to one like this one, I make sure that, like, this is another semi-tractor. This is a 16-wheeler, meaning that it has 16 tires it has 16 tires. So my commute typically lasts about an hour depending on traffic. So I just had this great idea that hey, let me take you guys along my drive to work, so you guys can have a feel, and we can kind of have a conversation along the way as well as we go on this commute. But this Wednesday morning, it is very, very foggy. It is the last Wednesday of August in this month of July, before we're gonna be ushering in a new month of August. So it is incredibly crazy and also amazing that we are already ushering in the 8th month of 2025, which feels like this year just started the other day. So I'm coming to you from Virginia, USA, and I'm driving through Augusta County at the moment. So leaving from Harrisonburg. Harrisonburg is surrounded by Rockingham County. Oh my goodness, look at that fog. Look at the fog, guys. This is crazy. Let me try to see. Right now I'm passing through mile marker 231.4, and this is a very foggy commute already, as you ladies and gentlemen can definitely see. At least now we have a little bit of a better visibility than we just came from, but all along ahead of me it's just foggy, so we definitely have to be really we have to be careful and also pay attention to the road conditions, because if we don't pay attention, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So I am taking you along on my walk commute. We don't know what this commute is gonna look like, so we shall see. And I'm hoping that I can fix this camera a little bit hoping that I'm visible in the camera as I'm speaking to you. So I have my little action camera, which is kind of like small and tiny, and I kind of like a small and tiny one because when you are kind of recording on the streets, it helps your camera to stay inconspicuous, especially when you're not trying to attract a lot of attention. So I have a small camera mounted on my windshield. In the front of my windshield, I have a little suction thing that goes on the mirror just above my the mirror that allows me to see back. And so I have my camera attached there so that I'm not holding any camera, and also allows me to have that wide angle view of my drive, similar to this right here, as you can see. And I usually have my phone is right here. I usually have it also mounted there, so if when I'm creating content, typically I have my phone there, but also in here, wait a second, you have a lot of heavy traffic here. I'm going to try to make sure that I'm paying attention. So hold on a second here. Just trying to make sure I get on the right lane right now, as traffic is pretty steady. Okay, I just switched lanes over. So over there, this lane is usually called the slow lane, and then on this lane that I'm on right now, that's the fast lane. Okay, so 1 second, let me make sure my camera is steady for the front view. Okay, all right, so this is a 2-lane. I'm passing through exit 227, which exits towards the town of Verona near Stanton, Virginia. So there are 2 lanes on this highway of interstate I-81 towards this one can go all the way towards the city of Richmond, Virginia, past Charlottesville where I work, but I will detour and get on another route called Route 64 also. So there are 2 lanes right now that you're on. When you're on the left lane, that's considered the fast lane. On the right lane, that's the slow lane. So this interstate, this section here, as we get closer to the city of Stanton, Virginia, the speed limit is 70 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. I would have to do the calculation, and I'll probably put it on this video somewhere down here, just to have comparison of what the mileage and kilometers is, because for most of my audience in Kenya and other regions of the world that don't use the US metric system here, I want to make sure that you guys have a comparison of what the equivalent of that will be. So this is the 70 miles per hour zone, and I'm probably going to be getting through another construction site up here. But as you can see, there is very poor visibility. We have a lot of big tractor trailers, 16-wheelers, that are transporting a lot of goods from state to state in the U.S. Look here, this is another very poor visible area, and it's also a construction site. They are expanding this road. Let me actually move my phone from there so that it's not blocking any views as we record. So yeah, this is a construction site right here. As you can definitely see, you have cranes that are extending this road, widening it. They are basically trying to widen it and make it like a 3-lane traffic way, because we have a lot of heavy congestion on this road, as I mentioned earlier. So they are widening this road to make sure that there's enough you can make traffic go a little faster, or provide a little bit of extra room for vehicles to move through. As you can see, although we are in small town USA, there's still that vibe that feels like you are in a big city, because of typically, as you see even in front of me, there's a lot of cars ahead of me and behind me as well. So in small towns, I want to say that in small towns, at least in my experience, I'm kind of like, I have a mixed feeling. I'm kind of half and half about living in a big city or living in a small town. So, and probably I'll recap a little bit. So let me hold on here. This is a very thick area of traffic. I'm going to pay attention, because I'm going to be getting off the Interstate 81 and getting on my next route, which is Route 64. I think west, headed towards the city of Charlottesville where I work. So I am going to pay attention here real quick. So I'm going to move my camera to face the front, and I'm going to pay attention here, because this is very heavy, thick traffic. And so I am being intentional in trying to be a safe driver as I multitask. And I am switching lanes right now. I'm getting on this slow lane as I'm passing through exit 222. This is going to the city of Stanton, and I will be getting on in here in about 1 minute or less. I will be merging onto new traffic. As you can definitely see, like this car right here is just merging from the small route from Stanton, coming on this big highway. So you definitely have to be super careful, with this type of traffic movement. If you're not paying attention, like this car that is merging, you can easily get caught, or you can side swap you or T-bone you easily. So and those are just like, you can hit you in the back, or you can easily collide with it. So you have to be super careful. So I'm exiting Route 81. I am entering Route 64 towards the city of Charlottesville. All these yellow and orange cones that you see on the side of the road demarcating here, this area is basically a construction zone. They're building and expanding this road because, as I said, we have a lot of accidents that and terrible road conditions that sometimes plague this road, so people have to be careful. So I am now on Route 64. We are headed towards the city of Charlottesville. So so guys, I want to welcome you to this channel at Chacha Unlmtd. I am a small content creator from Kenya, living in small town USA in the city of Harrisonburg in Virginia. And I bring you content. So I am about halfway through my commute to work. The next drive is probably going to be around between 30 to 40 minutes on my work commute. So I'm a small content creator, originally from Kenya. I've been living in a small town America for a while, and now I work and live in the city of Harrisonburg, and I work about an hour away in the city of Charlottesville. And you might ask, why are you working so far away from home? Because every day takes me 2 hours, one in the morning, another one back to home. So why? Because guys, my personal belief is that you have to chase those opportunities for you to be able to live a comfortable life. So we're kind of clearing some of the fog, and I can definitely see some of the light. I think the sun is coming out, as you can see. That's a beautiful, beautiful sun right there coming out. So the reason why I walk an hour away is because I'm chasing those better opportunities to be able to earn a higher income that can sustain myself, my family, and also try to have a little bit of wiggle room with my finances. So that's why I work about an hour away, because the opportunities, you cannot sit still and say, it's too far away, I'm commuting 2 hours a day to work, because you can pray for better opportunities, or you can pray to the mighty creator to help you grow, but he or she is also not going to just say, hey, just walk 5 minutes away. He or she is gonna push you towards a direction where you want to succeed and whatnot. And it's a huge, huge commitment from my end, because I also have a family. So it's the time that also you're taking away from family. I have to leave very early in the morning. Like right now, it is 7:24 a.m. I left my house at 7 in the morning. Actually, I left like 10 minutes before, because you cannot anticipate how traffic is going to pan or look like. Right now, we started off very foggy, but right now you can see how it's clearing up. But we're probably going to be hitting another very foggy area. There's a mountain called Afton Mountain, part of the Blue Ridge Mountains, that are kind of around the city of Charlottesville, Afton, Waynesboro, Fishersville, Stewart's Draft. Those are just local towns around here that I'm naming. There's a lot of those Blue Ridge Mountains kind of surround this area. So I even lost my train of thought. But so we're headed about a half an hour away from the city of Charlottesville. But the reason that I work so far away is so that I can find those better opportunities. So it's a sacrifice between my work-life balance, and also I've added another stressor to my complicated life of being a content creator. Our channel, we are purposefully creating a community of global doers, storytellers, and change makers. So from the very beginning of my channel, I've always believed in the motto of not sitting on the sidelines as a spectator. Meaning, like, if you're a fan of football or soccer, when you go to a match, you can either sit on the sideline and just cheer and like, hey, score. If your team loses, then you're like, no, you're pissed off. But we are being intentional. We're not spectators. We're not just cheerleading for others. We are also being intentional and purposeful, with gratitude and grace, of trying to move the needle and trying to also tell stories, especially for me as a Kenyan who is living in small town America. I've lived in this country for a while, so I feel like I have a certain perspective that allows me to kind of move and interweave between the world of being African American in America and also being Kenyan American. So I'm kind of like almost like I walk between the margins of being African and black in this country. So I merge or marry those two intersections, and it's a very unique perspective because you also have to be very aware of the issues that prevail in this country. So I'm actually going to move and from this lane I'm in, because I'm behind a truck that is kind of impeding. This truck here is that I'm going to be passing. It's kind of blocking my my front view. So one of the things I, as a driver, that I do not like, and I'm going to share a little bit also, here in a second. One of the things I don't like is I don't like when I cannot see my front view. Like right now you can see my front view, like at least I can see ahead, at least 50 feet ahead, what is in front of me. When you're behind a big car or you're behind something that is impeding your view, it means that you don't know what the traffic conditions are. Like right now, if I show you, I can look very far ahead. I can see the traffic pattern. I can see what's happening. So that allows me to easily predict the road conditions, the cars ahead of me, side by side. I can always predict, but it also allows me to know where I'm at. The most important thing that you can control in life and in any situation is yourself. So that means you gotta have a situational awareness of what's around you. For instance, we live in a very hyper realistic country in the USA, and one of the things that I don't like about living in America, and I'm probably going to do some series of videos just documenting my experiences in this country, and maybe I will talk more about that. We live in a very hyper vigilant society. We're constantly on a verge of being afraid of what's going to happen because of all the turmoil, political turmoil, civil unrest, a lot of racial profiling, and so many different things. But I'm going to pause on that and show you guys this beautiful drive up here that we are passing. Look at that. So we're passing through this area. Is called Afton Mountain. It is very, very nice, very, very beautiful. Look at that sun that is just shining. This area can be very 50-50 sometimes. Sometimes it can be very foggy. I was thinking that we're gonna hit a lot of big fog, and sometimes it's beautiful, as you can see, because it's high elevation up in the mountains. So when the sun is peaking and shining brightly and beautifully, it creates a very, very, very beautiful scenic view. So I'm actually going to be, what I will also do in this vlog, I'm going to just show you the beauty of my drive to work. And one of the most beautiful things about living in small town America and not living in big cities, that it has that quality vibe, the beauty and nature of that reminds me and takes me back to my home country of Kenya, where I was born and raised before migrating to the US. So yeah, so this is the Afton Mountains, and they're super unique and super beautiful. So as I said, this can be very 50-50 sometimes, because it can be very cloudy up here. You can have a lot of fog and mist, and so it can kind of create a little bit of unsavory traffic conditions. So like right now I'm passing here, I want to make sure that I'm paying attention to my surroundings, to what's going on, because this area, especially when you have a lot of fog and unpredictable conditions, you want to make sure that you are safe. So I just moved on from the left lane to, actually I'm going to switch back to this lane, and then I'm going to pass that white van, and I'm going to quickly move back onto this lane, because I actually want to stop here at this scenic view real quick and just show you guys the beauty of the Blue Ridge Mountains on this commute to work. So I am slowly pulling in here. This is a scenic drive. It looks like someone is getting that car, their tires changed there. So this part of the Blue Ridge, this is a scenic, this is the Afton Mountain Scenic Overlook. So I'm gonna stop here real quick. I'm gonna unmount my camera from the dashboard. So usually this is where I have this camera sitting right here, so it faces the front view. My phone here, I have a phone holder. Yeah, so definitely. So I just parked, and I'm gonna do a brief stop here. So this is my commute every day when I'm commuting Monday through Friday to work. This is the beauty that I usually see. And I was saying, look, the mountain looks over here. So I'm actually gonna try to, let me get a thumbnail for this video. Yeah, so as you can definitely see, this is beautiful, amazing. So this is the Scenic Overlook here, and they're definitely down there. Also, there's another section down there. Let me see if I can zoom in with this action camera. We have someone down there also. Who is admiring the beauty, but definitely you also have some people that are stopping over, and you have vehicles all over the way there. Yeah. But anyways, so this is just a quick stop of me showing you this beautiful view here, scenery. It makes super beautiful drive for me. So sometimes, from time to time, I usually make my way and quickly stop, get some fresh air, and then get back on the highway. So this is Route 64 right here. You see cars coming. Yeah, so you see cars coming, and then so we just mounted our camera back on, and I'm trying to see, I'm hoping that it's actually have a good view. So yeah, so as you can see, quickly as that, I just got out of my car for what, maybe 5 or 4 minutes or so, and then we're right back in the car, and we are now just checking to make sure that all around me everything is clear before we get back on the road. And yeah, okay, so I think I need to figure out, I just did something that now, okay, there we go. All right, so we are back on the road. But as you can see, even with this front view, it is marvelously crisp and clean and clear. And so this is some of the nature and beauty of this commute. It's kind of peaceful. So I do a lot of reflection and a lot of thinking on this drive every day when I'm driving to work. So as you saw there, that was a very beautiful scenic stop. I just wanted to show you what these Blue Ridge Mountains here in Afton do look like. And it's definitely one that is very amazing to kind of stop, smell the roses, and just enjoy the view. I think I just saw one of my co-workers car zoom by me. It's kind of funny. So I just wanted to make that quick stop to show you guys what it looks like. But as I was sharing earlier, before I lose my train of thought, is that I actually do prefer living in small towns because of one, the cost of living is relatively very cheap compared to living in a big city. At the same time, when I was in Kenya, I was born and grew up in a small village near the border of Kenya and Tanzania. And then at the time, my dad was going to university. And then I think when he had finished university and had gotten a job, we moved to another small, it was a town at the moment called Eldoret. And then later on, we also moved from Eldoret to Nakuru, and then from Nakuru I came to US. But my first formative years of my life, I believe until the age of 10, I didn't even have a pair of shoes on my feet. Growing up on a farm in the village in Kenya, we used to wake up before that. So here is another scenic overview right here. With another scenic overview that you can stop and look at this nature and beauty that's around us. As you can see, this commute now, this section is turning out to be beautiful and very clear and very crisp. So I'm hoping that we don't hit any major traffic conditions on the way to work. This road or these traffic conditions can be very predictable. Like we started off with the weather being very foggy and visibility being very poor, but right now as we are on 64, about I want to say 20 minutes out from Charlottesville on my way to work, then the view has definitely gotten better. We can see ahead of us, everything is clear and crisp, and I can see. Back to what I was saying. So I grew up in a small village. My first formative years, did not even have a pair of shoes. We grew up on a farm. We used to wake up at 5 in the morning, go to the farm, till the land using cows, the ox that you pull, the handheld plow to till the land. And we would do that for like about an hour, and then we'll go back home, wash up, wash our face. Then we would have porridge for breakfast. I don't know if you guys know anything about porridge for breakfast. And then after that, we would have to walk like half an hour, almost an hour to school. And then we'll come back home for lunch, then walk back home to school, and then in the evening we come back home. That's the typical life that we used to live. And then after school, you're tending to the cows, you're tending to the compound, cleanliness and things of that nature. And I was the oldest one in my family. I'm the older of five siblings. I'm the oldest. I have 2 brothers, and then I have 2 sisters. So a lot of majority of house chores and things of that nature, I was kind of responsible for, especially from that young upbringing, village life that you kind of have. I believe since I was 5, I had a very unique perspective, as I kind of felt like I was a man of the house, because when my dad was away going to school and my mom were living in the village in my grandfather's compound, so you kind of have to step up and do some of those chores and things like that, making sure that your brothers and sisters are being fed when your parents or your mom is away either doing business or helping out in the community. You are tasked with making sure that your siblings are doing what they need to be doing. And so from that very early age, from that simple, humble upbringing of growing up in the village, we saw, and also from my family, from my grandfather, I saw around me from a relative, the only way that we could move forward and prosper, move away from the narrative of being poor, is is that we knew that there's a power in the book, the power of going to school, knowing how to read and write, and also seeking those high opportunities. So for us, even though we were very grounded in a humble beginning in a small village, we understood and we knew it, that out of what our aspirations wanted to be, and I'm also kind of showing you traffic conditions here as we're driving. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that, beautiful people. Look at that. The view is just mesmerizing. I love this drive. The only thing I don't like about this drive is when the conditions, traffic is thick, or maybe there's an accident and then you're stuck on the highway. But other than that, I love this commute. It's super, super peaceful. I'm actually taking a sip of my coffee here, but let me just show you this beautiful, beautiful front view. And I'm gonna move. I wanted to move lanes because one of the other things I don't like driving on these major highways is the people that are driving. The only thing I know, and I have shared this before in a couple of videos I did, unfortunately I got a traffic ticket. I also got to witness a traffic accident on my way from work. So the one thing I don't like is the people that are sometimes they're kind of sitting on your bumper, like this car here that just pulled into this lane. It was kind of tailgating me, like it's kind of sitting on my bumper, like a couple feet away. Like if I hit my brake, all of a sudden it's gonna smash right into me. That's called tailgating here, and I don't like when people like that, are behind me doing that. So the only thing I know, oh my God, this is a beautiful view. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Let me move over to this slow lane and let the fast cars move. So this person moved on, was tailgating me, and then I was trying to move to the other side to let them pass, and then they moved to my lane, and then now they're over here. But the thing of it is, if you look at it, like the traffic is just steady, so you can move faster or slower than the car ahead of you, and that's what a lot of people don't have patience for. So I think over the last couple of videos I did, I'm definitely trying to ground myself in my sense of gratitude and being on purpose. And that means humbling myself to the fact that you don't let the conditions and things around you irritate you, or because they're out of your control. You cannot control what someone else does. And that's the motto and belief that I'm moving at this age of my life. I only know to stay in my lane and focus on my dreams and focus on my goals and the things that I can control, which is me. The decisions I make, how I react to how other people treat me, and knowing that the only thing I can control is my actions, nobody else's. Someone can verbally abuse you. They can do so many different things, say horrible things, or even taint your name or your image and things like that. But for me, I know if I move consistently and I keep pushing hard and using the right mechanisms, I will get to where I want to be at. So that's why I'm saying, even in my driving, I know I can control how I drive. I can't control what someone else is going through, or why they're speeding, or why they're tailgating you. And you just want to make sure you stay in your lane and consistent. Don't feed into that negative energy that is only going to tarnish your soul or give you that bad reaction and kind of mess up the rest of your vibe or the rest of your perspective. So back to our drive here. As you can see, the sun is shining ahead. It's a beautiful, beautiful commute here. We are on Route 64 West, headed to the city of Charlottesville, Virginia. It is about 7:46 a.m. and we are slowly making our way to the city of Charlottesville on the way to work. So definitely, as I said, you're able to move and stay in your lane without letting other people's negative energy affect you. And sometimes it's very, very, very hard because we're human beings. We are emotional beings. We get affected by how other people treat us and things of that nature. And it's only so much that we as humans can take sometimes, because we're very fragile beings. But I think when you're moving with resiliency, moving with purpose, and having gratitude, and learning from your mistakes and learning from everything that's around you, and also surrounding yourself to be enveloped, I believe that's a word, enveloped, kind of like in a cocoon, you know, like when a butterfly is in a cocoon and it emerges out, a caterpillar is in a cocoon and emerges out as a beautiful butterfly. So sometimes you have to allow yourself to be enveloped like a cocoon in the nature and beauty that's around you, and allow yourself to be inspired, allow yourself to breathe and reflect and make the best out of your situation. And it's not easy to say that for someone who maybe doesn't have food, someone who doesn't know how they're going to pay their rent. It's so hard for you to say things like that, because I always believe that be kind to each and every person that you meet. Everyone is fighting a harder battle that you know nothing about. So I could be smiling, I could be producing this content for you, this video right now, but deep down inside me, oh, something happened to me. Maybe something happened to me before I started recording this video that either made me very angry, very upset, or maybe I'm struggling. Maybe I have a family member who's very sick. Maybe someone passed away in my family. But I choose to come on, put on a beautiful smiling face and share with you deeply and produce a beautiful content without you knowing any context of what has happened before. But that's the thing I'm trying to say, is that I'm not saying none of those things are true. Some of them might be true or not. But what I'm saying is that be kind to each and every person that you meet out there, because you don't know what battle they're fighting. You don't know what demons are going through them. And so how you treat them matters a lot. In my line of work, a lot of times people are quick to point fingers at others and say, what's wrong with you, or why can't you fix this and that. And I'm learning that as a parent, as a father to my little man, Mr. J. A lot of times when something happens, a child reacts, a child is crying or they're acting out, it's not about what's wrong with you, so and so. It's about, hey, what happened? Can we talk? Can we have a moment, or let's figure out what is that trigger or that point that is either making that person react, or if they're crying or whatever is happening. So be kind to each and every person you meet. You never know what battle they're up against. You never know what struggles they're going through. But when you take a moment to humanize, empathize, and connect with a person, you're going to learn so much about yourself and also about the other person, and also you can be in a position or capacity to help make a difference. Anyway, that's my Wednesday wisdom for you guys. Here we are back on this drive. So I think we are about 10 minutes away from the city of Charlottesville. We are passing through exit 118B. My exit for work is 120. So we're passing through mile marker 118, exit 118B. This is also another exit towards the Charlottesville and Culpeper, but our exit is going to be coming up here in about less than 5 minutes or so. And as we're kind of winding down and getting closer to our walk commute, and I'm going to go ahead and move over to this lane because this is the slow lane, and also in anticipation of having to exit the highway off 64 East. So maybe I made a mistake earlier. Maybe I might have said 64 East and West. Guys, I'm very, very terrible with directions. To be honest with you, I'm very terrible with directions. I usually get my bearings mixed up very easily. East, West, North, South. Sometimes I get that confused. And I usually do a lot of my driving, especially if I'm going to a place I'm not familiar with, with the GPS on my phone to kind of help me go there. It's also one of the things that mesmerized, kind of tickles me a little bit, because back in the day, the first time I learned how to drive, it was in my 20s. I think I was like 24 or something like that. I was living in the city of Washington, D.C. I remember I used to drive, like I could drive from the city of Washington, D.C. to New Jersey easy, with just by looking on a geographical paper map. So in the old days, before smartphones were prevalent, you used to be able to read a map and have your sense of directions. And I've become kind of complacent and lazy as I have gotten older. I rely so much on my cell phone for everything, to the point where he just like it's almost like smartphones are replacing our ability to think critically and analyze situations. Like I remember one time I got lost coming from New Jersey, going to Washington, D.C., and I basically, in the middle of the night, I stopped, pulled out a map from the trunk of my little car that I used to drive, my very fast car. It was a Nissan Sentra. I think it was a 1997 Nissan Sentra. I remember that, because those type of things you kind of tend to remember what they are. So it was a 1997 Nissan Sentra. I think that's what it was. It was actually red. Yes, I think it was red. It was a small, tiny car put up on the side of the road. I think it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, driving from New Jersey, and I looked at the map, figured out the bearings, and then I was able to get back on the route and drive to DC, and I got where I needed to be at. Funny thing is, that day also was kind of like a very interesting day. I arrived in DC. I don't know why this is coming back to me so crystal clear. I arrived in DC, and I went to a gas station to pump gas, or to get gas, and then I locked my car keys in the car. That's a story for another day. And so I think I had a good Samaritan, or somebody who tows truck, was passing by, and they helped me retrieve my car keys, and I was able to get home. I think that was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so it was a whole night deal. But I even lost my train of thought. But the grand thing is, you can control only what you do, how you act to different situations, but be kind to each and every person that you meet. So we are now arriving in Charlottesville. I think I'm about 5-10 minutes away right now in Charlottesville. So funny thing is, right after this traffic light that I'm gonna pass is where I received a traffic ticket a while ago. I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago, right? It was 2-3 weeks ago, right after we had come back from New York City. So I did a bunch of amazing videos while we were visiting New York City. So go ahead and check those videos out, guys, and help us grow. And kindly hit subscribe if you're new to our channel. Like, share, and leave a comment to let us know what you think about our comment. But also, that's a way that it helps us to grow and connect through the YouTube algorithm to recommend our videos out to more viewers. So I got a traffic ticket right here in this corner that I'm passing right here, guys. Right there, the cop was sitting right there. That's where I got my traffic ticket. He pulled me over. I think right here, this spot is where his lights came on, and then I drove a little bit up. I'm gonna show you here in a second. I drove up a little bit, and then I pulled on the side of the road, and then he came behind me, and that's how I got my traffic ticket. So I'm actually gonna be going to court in about 3 weeks. I think August 19th, I'm gonna be going to court. So right over here, as soon as you get to Charlottesville, this road, this is called Ridge Street. Traffic is usually very, very, very thick, and it's very thick. I don't know what it is. Like, this is the time that everybody's kind of getting into the main city center of the city of Charlottesville. So everything kind of halts or comes to a stop as traffic slowly crawls through to the city of Charlottesville. So right now it's almost at a standstill, but it's almost, there's a traffic light up above that slows things very much. Now I'm just sipping a cup of my coffee here. So typically I usually make coffee from home. I just use sugar. Actually, I have switched from using sugar to only honey and cinnamon. Cinnamon is one of the things I love. It kind of has a really unique, the cinnamon powder, it has a unique taste to coffee. So I only drink my coffee black with honey now. And this has been since I started my routine of also getting fit. One of our goals for 2025 was to get fit, travel, and make content, grow, hoping that we can get monetized on this channel. And then after that, we can push using the monetization to make more vlogs, more videos, because it takes money to make videos. A lot of the videos, most of my content is very low-key, home style videos. Like when we went to New York City, you gotta think like you basically are either driving, or we took a train. We drove to Washington DC, then took a train to New York City, and then after that you also have to have a place to stay. You also have to figure out food. So all those big creators that you see on YouTube that travel and bring you amazing content, know that, guys, you have to invest in yourself to be able to be where you want to be at. The rich and powerful are going to tell you that it takes money to make money. What that means is that you got to be willing to bet on yourself. So for me, I'm betting on my content creation as my strategy towards financial freedom, towards making a difference and being a change maker, especially in my native local village of Kenya. I want to be able to support kids that go to school. The same way that I was sharing a little bit ago, from a very young age, I knew that the power of the book, the power of going to school was going to be the mirror, or was going to be the portal that was going to take me out of the situation of poverty that we grew up on a small farm. I knew that. And so we have a lot of young, talented people. I'm actually turning here as we continue this vlog. So I'm passing through a small town, or a small area called Fifield here in Charlottesville. So I'm about maybe a block or 2 blocks away from my job. This is called Fifield. It's a historic small area here in Charlottesville. So I'm just winding down and making my way. So I knew from a very young age that education was the key to success. So we want to use our monetization, if we do get there, to also support those local villages. I'm also inspired by one of our biggest YouTubers in the village. I talk about him all the time. So, but the spotlight is on this guy over here, Chacha Unlmtd. We want to use our ability to be monetized to also travel and bring you amazing content. So that's why I'm urging you to kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you already haven't, so that we can be intentional and purposeful in growing. So I am taking you, this is a raw view of my drive from Harrisonburg to Charlottesville. As you can see, along this way, I'm chit-chatting with you. I'm kind of showing you a little bit. So this is the city of Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm passing through railroad tracks, so it's kind of important to always slow down and see what's going on here. So we want to use our platform to make change. Definitely, that's one of our goals. So I ask kindly for your support by subscribing, liking, sharing, helping us grow. Leave a comment, help the YouTube algorithm to know who's watching, so that we can grow and make an impact, make a splash. And I'm really grateful to all my day ones, all my subscribers that keep coming back, my loyal fans, watching, liking, and sharing our videos. We're really grateful to you guys, and we don't take any of you guys for granted. So this is the final view. I'm gonna be pulling into the parking deck of my where I work here in just a few. But as you can see, the day is marvelously beautiful. Look at that sunny skies. They just give you that ambience of just beauty all around you, just being inspired, starting your day. So it's just an amazing feeling overall. We're here passing through. Look at all these green trees and whatnot. This is one of the things that really makes these spaces really beautiful. So I'm about to pull into the parking deck of where I work. As you can definitely see, we have made it to our destination without any major issues, which we're truly grateful for. So I'm gonna pull up here, and then we're gonna be wrapping up our video here in just a few. All right, so just making sure that I'm parked properly. So just making sure that I'm parked properly, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get my bearings and my items, and then we can go ahead and wrap this video up. So alright, so I'm making sure I have my car keys. We're turning the car off. I also had breakfast here in the car, but since we were talking and I was filming, I don't think I had time to enjoy my bagel on the way to work. So I'm definitely going to be enjoying this in the office here once we get in. Alright, so I'm just putting my stuff ready, and then we're going to go ahead and exit the vehicle here in a second. Alright, let me take the camera off from the mount. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is where I usually put the camera, and you guys are able to see. So I'm gathering my bearings, my bag, my phone. I usually have two phones, one for work and another one for my personal phone. So let's go ahead and exit through the other side. I'm just gathering my bearings, guys. Okay. So I have, as you can see, I'm loaded. I have my coffee, banana, and a bagel. And we're gonna throw away our trash. Alright, so this is a parking garage, and I'm making my way out to work, go towards my job. So as you can definitely see, it is a very beautiful morning here in Charlottesville, Virginia. So I'm just gonna take a beat and wrap up this video, and then we're gonna go ahead. So as you can definitely see, we made it to work. So I'm about to walk into my job over there, get the day started. But anyways, this is just a vlog to show you my commute from the city of Harrisonburg to the city of Charlottesville. So we're here. We're gonna go ahead and grind, make some money, and see what the day looks like. So thank you for tuning in, watching my vlog at Chacha Unlmtd. Guys, I'm truly grateful. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So kindly like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below, and help us on the road to success. Thank you. I love you guys. Have a marvelous, marvelous week as we get into the new month of August. All right. Peace, love, and God bless. See you in the next one.